Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Today we're looking at a paper from the Hugging Face trending list, published on January 16, 2026, just about 3 days ago. It uncovers a strategic phenomenon called the poisoned apple effect, where an agent releases a new technology that neither they nor their opponent actually uses, simply to force a regulator to change the market rules in their favor. The paper is titled, "The Poisoned Apple Effect: Strategic Manipulation of Mediated Markets via Technology Expansion of AI Agents." And as we'll see later, the implications for designing robust, dynamic regulatory frameworks are really significant. Figure 1 illustrates this mechanism step by step. Initially, in the top row, the regulator selects Market 4 for its perfect fairness score, giving Alice and Bob nearly equal payoffs. Then, Alice releases technology E, shown on the far right. This forces the regulator's hand. Moving to the bottom row, they must switch to Market 8 to maintain fairness. Crucially, while neither agent uses the new technology in Market 8, the regulatory shift itself raises Alice's payoff to 0.52 at Bob's expense. Figure 2 now broadens the scope to bargaining, negotiation, and persuasion games. Panel A tracks how often payoffs move in opposite directions, signaling a zero-sum outcome. Crucially, Panel B isolates cases where these shifts happen despite zero adoption of the new technology, verifying the poisoned apple effect is a systemic vulnerability. Moving to Panel C, the red bars show that technology expansion frequently harms regulatory goals like fairness. Finally, Panel F warns that if a regulator fails to update market rules, the social metric worsens in nearly half of all scenarios. So, Table 1 breaks down the specific menu of options available to the regulator before any new technology is released. It lists 8 market configurations, defined by parameters like information transparency and whether messages are allowed. You can see Market 4 is highlighted in bold because it achieves a perfect fairness score of 1.0. This makes it the obvious choice initially, especially compared to the runner-up, Market 8, which scores slightly lower at 0.99. Well, Table 2 reveals the critical change in the post-release landscape. Once Alice introduces the new technology, notice how Market 4's fairness score drops to 0.976 in the middle row. Because this value has fallen below the stability of Market 8, which holds steady at 0.990 in the bottom row, the regulator is compelled to switch. This inversion of the best-performing market effectively forces the design change that benefits Alice. Wrapping up, the big takeaway is that expanding technology isn't always neutral. Agents can release tools just to force regulatory changes without ever using them. This means static market rules are inherently vulnerable to manipulation. Going forward, we need dynamic frameworks that can adapt to these hidden strategic threats. That's it for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Thanks for listening.